Hey, and welcome to Flamingo Friday. I thought it would be a great idea to sit out on the roof terrace at my husband's new office, and it's beautiful, but I've just realised that I'm totally squinty and I can't see anything. So, welcome to Flamingo Friday. Every Friday I'm going to flamingo somebody's homepage, advert, email or other piece of marketing gubbins. I'm going to go through what's good, what's not so good. I'm not going to pull any punches, but I promise that I won't be mean. It's basically going to be best practice based on what I know works for me and my clients, the results that I've got in the past. I have helped my superheroes improve their marketing so that it gets better results, and I've also written copy for my private clients that's made them hundreds of thousands of pounds and probably more. So sometimes what I'll be going through will be something that I've seen while reading or browsing or out and about looking at adverts. Sometimes it might be a website that I've been visiting that has totally infuriated me and I'm like, why are they doing it like this? They could do so much better than this. And on occasion you can send me your homepage and ask me to critique it for you. I won't do all of the ones that I get, and the ones that I do will be made public, much like this one. If you want a private one, you gotta cough up the moolah. Today we're going to be looking at Dennis's website. He has sent me a detailed explanation of his ideal client, which is something that everybody should do. Not send it to me, but do the detailed outline of your ideal client, and also a link to his homepage. So let's take a look at how he can improve upon what he's got. Right then, let's start with Dennis's email. I'm not going to go into too much detail about the avatar here because that's an entirely different proposition, and there's plenty of stuff that I can teach about avatars. This is actually a really good start to an avatar. However, there's a whole bunch of stuff missing, because even though you've got some of the demographics here, and you've also dug into a little bit, what he's interested in and what he's not interested in. He doesn't want to be a media person and he wants to hand this responsibility off. That's fine. However, there is a whole bunch of stuff there that you are missing out. What frustrates him, what's he afraid of, all the rest of it. And I can tell you right now that his biggest worry or concern is not that he doesn't have the time or money. He's going to be concerned about something in the following, maybe something else. Getting ripped off by advertising space sharks, people like you but who are total sharks. He's going to worry about being bullied by publications. He's going to worry about looking stupid, getting ripped off because he doesn't understand the media. And he's really particularly going to worry about wasting money, again, looking stupid, all the rest of it. So all of this stuff about, wanting to keep the lights on and all the rest of it, which I saw you mention somewhere on your website, that's all fine, that's all well and good, but you need to get down to really what is bothering people on a personal level, and you haven't really got that here. So go back to your avatar, dig a lot deeper, talk to your current clients, find out what bothered them and what they were worried about before they got in touch with you, because they certainly will have been worried about stuff. Ask them what's pissed them off about people in your industry before, because again, they'll probably have plenty of stories. Okay, I'm going to now have a look at your website. So you have got about 10 to 20 seconds before somebody bounces off your webpage. There's been some research done. I can dig it out to you and send it to you if you want it. And it's been proper kind of university research. They basically looked at 2 billion dwell times on websites, and they found that you have an average of 10 to 20 seconds before somebody bounces off. You need to make sure that people know exactly what you offer and that they're in the right place straight away. Don't make me work for it or I'm gone. So with your website, I don't know exactly what you do or where you're at as soon as I land on the page. It's really, really, really busy. There's so much going on here. It needs to be much, much simpler. You've actually got a really, really simple offer, but it's not here. I can't see it anywhere here. The other thing is your website is quite old-fashioned, and it lacks any personality at all. And even right down to stuff like this. This is a favicon, and it's just blank and it says home. That to me is a sign of people expect. So okay, let me show you. Let me show you my website. You can see my very, very slow. So that my favicon is there, and this bit isn't particularly good because I'm working on my website at the moment. But it does tell you a little bit more about what's going on the page than what happens here. So you really want a value proposition on the tab, and you want a proper favicon because it kind of looks like an unfinished website. I'm not saying that you have to have a website that's really fancy and swanky and, you know, flashy lights and slidey pictures and all the rest of it, but it does need to be an awful lot simpler than this. So the headline doesn't say anything to me about what you do, and this is too small and indistinct. You know, I'm not that old, but I have to kind of get really close and squint at it to see actually what you're talking about. And it's not until I get underneath this busy bit here that I realise that you're talking about media buys, and it's like, actually, you know, not everybody is even going to know what a media buy is. So it's not obvious to me what you offer as soon as I land on your website. It's about time someone got around to looking out for you, isn't it? It's too obscure. You could be referring to absolutely anything there. The sentiment is fine, but your headline and your first few sentences needs to be, this is who you are, this is your problem, bang, I know immediately. And I don't get that from landing on your website. Also, there's no personality in here, and you know, you are a quirky man, Dennis. You know, you refer to me as Miss Vicky, and you've got a kind of quirkiness about you. I don't get any feel for the person behind the website here, and that's really, really important, because like you say, you know, your media buy is probably your biggest investment besides payroll. That's a lot of money to be trusting somebody like you with, and I need to get to know you a bit on the first page. So want a headline that says what your offer is and what the problem that you're solving is, and you know, what, calling out to the person that I am, the problem that I've got. That's the first thing you want to be thinking about, and that's where you go back to your avatar. The second thing is, it is a good idea to have an image of some kind on your homepage, because our eyes are drawn to images before they're drawn to anything else. And it's a good idea to have an image of you, because you are the one who I'm going to be giving my hard-earned cash to, and I'm going to have to trust you with it. And frankly, you know, the advertising space is crammed full of thieving, lying sharks, and I want to know that you're somebody that I can trust. Remember that this is your homepage, it's your shop window, it's your first impression, so you need to make a good impression. Okay, the other thing that you need on your webpage is your offer. You need a really clear offer. You actually have a very simple offer, you know, and your guarantee is great. Where is it? Stuffed all the way down here. My guarantee is I will save you more money in your media space purchases than it will cost to use my services. That's actually... The guarantee is great. It's a really simple, really specific guarantee. I think we could word it a bit better because it's a little bit difficult to read and understand. I had to read it a couple of times to figure out what you were saying. But the idea behind it, the guarantee that you've got, is great. It's really, really simple. You know, that's your offer. Work with me and I will save you more money in your ad buys than it will cost you, you know, than your investment in me, basically. And you want to talk about investment in me rather than cost. So when you're talking about competitors and when you're talking about advertising costs, you can say, you know, it costs this amount of money and it's going to be a lot of money. And there's a psychological, you know, nobody likes costs. When you're talking about people spending money with you, it's an investment. And with you, it genuinely is an investment, because, you know, elsewhere in your website, you talk about how people are spending, you know, 80 cents but getting $2.50 back. So that's super important. You want to be talking about, you know, the value proposition. You also want to be talking about how much it's going to cost people to not work with you. And this is where you can use actual figures. You have a unique, well, it's not unique, but you are going to find it very easy to pull figures out. You know, how much is it going to cost people not to work with you? How much is it going to cost somebody to screw up if they try and do this on their own? Because a lot of people will try and do it on their own because they don't understand, you know, what somebody like you can do to help. And this is where it's really important to get your message across. And so yeah, offer value proposition, that's not on here, and it needs to be really simple. And finally, what do you want people to do from your homepage? What is your most wanted action? Because at the moment, you've got a whole bunch of stuff. This is actually good because top right corner is prime real estate. So you've got your contact details there, but there's no actual call to action. You've just kind of put your telephone number up. People need to be told what to do. So, you know, do you want them to phone you? Do you want them to email you? What would you like them to do and why? So again, this is a perfect place to have your call to action and your offer up here. Maybe a picture of you here, maybe a picture of you further down, but a picture of you somewhere. Your call to action and offer here, but you know, what's your offer? What problem is it going to solve? Call me now. And then you can repeat that further down the page. Have a button as well, because we know what buttons look like and they are familiar to us. So the good stuff is that it's good to have your contact details up there. Having said that, you need to have a proper call to action and the offer and value proposition there as well. This voice message thing is nifty, you know, call me without dialing. I like that. That's a good thing to do. Again, that could be that could be up in the top right corner, if that's the main thing that you want people to do. You need to decide what the most profitable thing for people to do is on this page. The offers are good as well, but there are too many of them. Like, this is great. So your free time saver media planning deck. This needs a bit more explanation, and it needs a landing page all of its own, because you should be sending people to this from somewhere else. This is obviously classic headline. Do you make these mistakes in advertising? So yeah, that's a good offer as well. You can, again, that needs a landing page all of its own, and I would be sending people to that landing page from ads or from, content or from whatever. But then we've got something else, private media lessons. So there's a lot going on this homepage, but none of it I'm particularly clear about exactly what your offer is and what problem you're going to solve for me. So that's the main thing. So you've been doing this for a long time. Where do your best clients come from? Ask yourself that. Go talk to them. How did you find them? Who are the most profitable ones? What's the most profitable way for them to get in touch with you? What do you want them to do? Do you want them to email you? Do you want them to call you? Do you have a consultation first? This is probably a good place. I mean, if it were me, and you know the answer to this better than me because you've been working with your clients for longer, but I would think probably the best thing for people to do here is to hop on like a free 15-minute consultation call with you, because that way you're going to be able to answer their questions. You're going to be able to find out if they're serious or not. You could put a questionnaire together, make sure, weed out the tire kickers so that you're not wasting 15 minutes on people who are never going to work with you. There's a whole bunch of stuff you could do to get people on a consultation call, which then I'm assuming, knowing what I know of you, that you're probably quite good at converting. What's your conversion rate when you talk to people on the phone? Do you get most people signing up with you? If so, get people on the phone for a quick call to talk to them, if that's the best way for you to turn prospects into customers. Do you want to build a relationship first with people or get them straight to a call? So I would say your primary call to action here probably is getting people on a call, and then a secondary call to action is sending people to, if you're not sure, or, if you want to know more about me, you can send them to one of these things that you've got here. But these should be further down. After you've done your, what's your offer, how will it make my life better, and how do I buy it, are the three key things that you want on your homepage here. And you want a call to action strong, clear, and often throughout with a button. Do not make me think, because that was one of the things that came out of... I had a quick look. I'm not going to evaluate your whole website because for that you'll need to pay me the money. But I am going to quickly just... Where did I get to? So this is... Again, this is a little bit confusing. So it's just all about simplifying. What's your offer? How will it make my life better? How do I buy it? And then if they don't buy it immediately, what can you offer them after that? And that's where you can be like, okay, this is great. And then I would have a big, a big bunch of buttons down here. Here is how to avoid the big mistakes. Here is how to do it yourself, without screwing it up really badly. Here is that kind of thing. So you can have a bunch of probably... blog posts, I would suggest these are. Have your most useful blog posts down here so that people can click on them and find out more. And always make sure that your call to action then is, to get on the phone or to download a thing or to something that just deepens that relationship with them. Because the more people read on your website, the more likely they are to buy from you. Okay, so very quickly, what happens when, because there's a lot going on here. Your questions, by the way, is super. There's loads of really good stuff in here. There's loads of good headlines in here as well. What did I find? Where was it? Okay, the cost of hiring me is a lot less than the cost of your problem. That's great until it gets a bit vague here. So the cost of hiring me is a lot less than screwing up your ad buy or something like that. That's much better. There's a whole bunch of headlines that you could pull out of your questions bit, because these are pretty good. The headlines could be better. I'm not going to evaluate all of these in detail, but all of this stuff is really useful stuff that people will be very interested in. So you can go through those and find much better headlines than the ones you've got on your homepage, and then use those. Because remember, it's all about calling out who I am and the problem that I've got and how you're going to solve it. So on the contact page, again, what was it? Oh no, it was how to hire. That was it. Don't make me do things twice. So if I click on there, if I click on start, also don't ever say we look forward to to being of service. That's a very weak call to action. It's like, tell me what to do. What do you want me to do right now? I want you to get on the phone with me. If I click on that start button, that should then take me to a booking page, not back to your contact page, because that's just another step for me to do something else. I want to be able to get in touch with you right now. If I want to start right now, I want to be able to book a call with you right now. So don't make me do several things at once, because I'm just not going to do it. Okay, so remember, you got about 10 to 20 seconds to get and keep my attention, to make me see that I am in the right place and that you can help me solve my problem. You need to tell me what your offer is, how it will make my life better, how do I buy it, and you want to really think about what my biggest problem or worry is going to be. And it's not going to be necessarily these things here, because yes, we want to generate new sales, yes, we want to get the advertising, but when you're looking for a media buyer, my problems are more like, can I trust this guy? Is he going to take my money and run? Am I going to get ripped off? Am I going to look stupid? All of that stuff. There's other stuff as well. You need to dig really deep into your avatar and find out. And then you need a really strong call to action. And then below the call to action, the most wanted action that you want, you need to have a bunch more information. If they're not ready to press the button and jump on a call with you, you need to get them ready by sending them to this cool stuff that you've got here. And I would also redesign your website so it looks a little bit more up to date. Easier to read, nice big font. That's, I'm not old, and that's very small. So you want your font to be at least that big, your typeface to be at least that big. Especially given you told me that your target audience is president or marketing director. He's going to be at least in his 40s or 50s, probably. And, your eyes start to fail when you get a bit older. So you need nice big writing, basically, is what I'm saying. So take that on board. Do as I bid, and I guarantee you that you will get more leads that way with making some of those changes. Let me know how you get on. So loads of the issues that I've just pulled out of Dennis's homepage are common to so many different websites. Yours might not look like Dennis's, it might not read like Dennis's, but most of the websites that I see, most of the homepages that I see suffer from similar problems. So try the stuff that I've suggested, find what works for you, and then improve on it. Let me know how you get on and what results you get. If you would like me to do a really in-depth critique privately for your eyes only and really go into a lot of detail, you can book one for £350 plus VAT, which is a steal when you consider how much money that your website could be costing you and how much it could be making you if you just got your messaging right. If you would like a private critique, email me vicky@vickyfraser.com with the subject line critique me, and we will get that booked in. Or you can join the superheroes. There's a link to join in the video description. If you join the superheroes, amongst many other goodies, you also get 2 critiques per month included in your membership, which is an absolute bargain. So I will be back same time next Friday, and we will pull something else to bits. Have a great weekend.